conference. As Amarnath introduced, thank you, Maha. The topic is mindfulness, and we are trying to divert it to the our humanity. And I hope by now most of you knows the meaning of mindfulness. So I will take that advantage. But anyway, on the way, we will give the definition of the mindfulness according to the circumstances, because according to my understanding, the term mindfulness appear in the canon with different shades of meaning. Theoretically, it appears 8 places according to the 37 factors of enlightenment. So today I am going to take the most starting point for the beginner's mind toward the mindfulness, and how that leads to the humanity or the unity, and to do away with this present sectarianism and fundamentalism, and how much one being an individual can contribute towards this humanity, as well as how much we can verify under one's very nose. So, to start, we would say mindfulness is being here and now. And why mindfulness is important to define as such? Because unless otherwise one introduce mindfulness as here and now in our nature, natural state of mind never be here and now. It's often regret about the past, or excitement of future planning, maybe think about other people and other places. So often it gets eccentric, never visit the present moment. So therefore it's a task, it's an enormous task of introducing this mindfulness that is to be here and now. And even if it is introduced, will someone accept this as some relationship with this humanity, as a part of humanity, or can someone take time and verify whether my understanding, theoretical understanding is correct, whether I put really that into practice, have I reached any kind of a tangible results. So this makes one to think about or reflect upon why the mind is never happy to be here and now. So, Buddha may be, whoever may be, if someone to remind a beginner, a newcomer, only human beings can train the mind to be here and now, and therefore be humans. If we take time, how much we can achieve, how much we can verify being here and now. So when I was in the university in the second year, Venerable Dhammajiva is an Australian monk, I never reached him to learn mindfulness. I saw a white monk. So that was an attraction. So I just wanted to talk to him, and while talking, he completely ignored me, telling what is the use of this social familiarization and socialization. But why you are talking with me, and what is the necessity? So I had no invalid reason to tell. I had kind of an attraction. And he told, if you are not talking about mindfulness, the whole talk is in vain. I was a born Buddhist. He was not a born Buddhist, but later he became a monk. At that time I was a layperson. So it took 8 years for him to teach me mindfulness. I'm talking about 77, or 70, 78. But each and every time he gave examples and theory and guiding me, it gave kind of a refreshment or rejuvenation. But I felt my way of life and brought up in such a situation, the mindfulness was not have any place in my life. And at that time there were no meditation centers, no meditation masters, and the way, the busy life I had no time to allocate for mindfulness. So each and every difficulty I reported to Dhammajiva, Dhammajiva, as a teacher, but luckily he never took them as a useless or nuisance. He gave alternatives. So he was teaching me and asking me to be here and now. So only the point I got it is to be mindful while brushing my teeth. Then he told that when you are brushing your teeth, you take your own time. There's no the burden is involved. So when you brushing teeth, try to experience it. So you can see there's no any practical value. It's for the doing mindfulness for the sake of mindfulness. So that is the only point I got the touch. And even if you get the touch of mindfulness, what is the relationship with the humanity? What is the relationship with the political life, social life, or economic life? So it was his duty. Don't compare it with this kind of a result-oriented basis. You just keep on doing. Be mindful at least once a day while you are brushing. And meanwhile, I started reading some of the canonical text. I can't find any relationship because even I was Buddhist, there's no any clue in our Buddhist life or in our Sunday school life or Buddhism as a subject till how to put the Buddhism, the teaching of the Buddha, into practice. And whenever you get the touch of mindfulness in brushing teeth, very difficult to connect each other. But when you keep on practicing only, luckily I had a relationship with this Venerable, and keep on, I found that when and where you are with yourself, and we are here and now, no much of tension, and to recognize it takes long time. And I try to introduce that doing other things also, and later started sitting like you and to be mindful. And I had no any meditation place, no group, and it was a locked room only I can practice. So whenever I do a little bit of it and report, Dhammajiva was very generous and he was sharing. It's a one-to-one relationship. So likewise it went about 8-9 years, and meanwhile he gave me 3 instructions, we can say, rule of thumb. He says, if you are serious about this, don't do a job, don't marry, don't tell anyone that you are meditating. So it's something against the grain. It also happened, of course, after long years. So I try my best not to get committed in order to take my life full time for mindfulness. So while it is maturing, of course, as someone mentioned, I took a job, and yeah, it was utterly successful. Whatever I am doing, I can predict beforehand. There's no hitch. It's successful. It is in the least frictional part, and I have been always in comfort zone. So I did labor management, I did production, I did international selling, research and development, and meanwhile I did my postgraduate. Everything is happening. It is more than multitasking. And then you always, I felt, it's a very simple way of life. And no relationship I found anything to the humanity as such. But I found I am a human. That's the first and foremost thing I found. I have no big plans or kind of thing. Wherever possible, try to be here and now. So, while I am doing, even with all the success, I just wanted to practice as a forest monk full time. But my way of life and my busy mind never gave any qualifications for me. So after made up mind, once I go to the forest, forest monks, we never think about humanity. We completely cut off from the society. We have very limited time with the social interaction. So lucky enough, I completely renounced from the family and the friends and all the kind of thing. And therefore, at the beginning, it was an effort not to get socialized, not to worry about the political issues, not to worry about the economical issues, not to worry about the, any social affairs. So my forest life was a very, very happy one, and solitude was my main thing. Get the solitude and be contented with, and it was a success. And then only it happened me to go to Burma, and there also I was completely within a monastic situation. I lived about almost 4 years, and towards the end, Pandita Sayadaw put us into some kind of a social work. There also it appeared like a distraction for monastic life. But the way he taught mindfulness, the way he taught the monastic life was somewhat little dynamic. So then I came back to Nissarana again to Sri Lanka, and they are also entertained, and there I started sharing my experience with the other monastics. They ordained, they are living in the monastery, and there I learned little bit of teaching techniques. And when it is improving, whenever gathering the momentum, I just went to Colombo, and when I am delivering talks and sharing with other people, it's amazing to see the busy housewives and the fathers and mothers, they catch the idea, the mindfulness. I thought it is only a secluded life and the forest life and 100% away from the society on the mindfulness applicable, and there it was actually. And when it is going, I felt I am completely cut off from the news media and no relationship. And when you are living in the society, so much of secularism, so much of fundamentalism, so much of religious, all the kind of thing. And these people are well to do, but they are fighting each other. No one is at peace. So I thought I am a completely isolated person, and I am happy because no social interaction. And I wish I can do, of course. But later only, slowly, it occurred to me, if you know the least frictional path, if you know how to introduce mindfulness to your day-to-day activities as a householder or a monk or whatever may be, it is, according to Pandita Sayadaw's terminology, it's a super glue. Whatever the creed, whatever the religion, whatever the situation you have, the mindful person can attract and can give the harmony, and ultimately everyone accept it. So therefore, with this correct perspective, whatever the type of people you are meeting, they may be religious or maybe economically motivated people, politically motivated people, socially motivated people, whenever they come to the common ground of mindfulness, there's a kind of a harmony. Recently, one person put it as a special word, coin, conscious harmony. Whoever may be, wherever you may be, you are living, as far as we are mindful, we live in the same vibration. Same vibration. So you can put that into practice and see. I would like to take that few minutes to test it and see. Whenever you try to be here and now, as a definition for mindfulness, you get, or whenever you are not eccentric, whenever you are not in the past, whenever you are not in the future, or thinking about another person, or another place, when the mind comes and friendly with the body, you get a kind of an experience which cannot be expressed in any language. But if you try to share with another person who also successfully be in the present moment, both of them are talking about the same thing, but very difficult to communicate. But it's a solid experience. And that experience, I thought of labeling as humanity. That means, it may be a little irritating, but anyway, whenever you are mindful, you are a human. Whenever you are not mindful, either you are living in a dream, or you are frustrated, or you are eccentric, and there are a lot of bad traits, and all the friction can happen. Communication problems, misunderstanding can happen. So as far as you live mindfully, either individually or as a group, there is a mind-to-mind connection, and we feel like family members, we feel like human. And early signs of this progress is for the disadvantage of to the beginner. And when you gain certain amount of momentum, you start to feel, in American jargon, they say it's a good vibes. When a group of people try to be mindful and try to be here and now, they are emitting kind of a vibration. They feel unity. And the strange thing is to go to that humanity, to go to that mindfulness, to go to that unity. If a beginner is going to ask what you have to do, simply you have to do, doing nothing is the art. Whatever you do, you are disturbed. Just doing nothing. And it's all just being. So how to just be? Very difficult. Very difficult. We can do this and that. But whenever you ask the mind, just be. You just sit and be aware that you are sitting. Or brush your teeth and be aware that you are brushing teeth. And likewise, whenever it is come to the mindfulness, when you are mindful, you are rather de-learning, you are rather deconditioning. So one moment of deconditioning, one moment of de-learning won't make much of an acceleration or gathering the momentum. If you can be 2 moments, 3 moments, or few seconds, or few minutes, the gift you get it is your mind for that particular given time, no much of tension, no much of frustration. So people, those who already suffered from this frustration or mindful, the tension or any kind of distractions, they can feel it more efficiently, more dramatically, but very difficult to convince people to be mindful or to just be And by being mindful, you get so much of benefits. So therefore, talk like this, or discussion like this, we can tell others, but whether you accept it or not, it's a completely irrelevant, completely improper. You can't capitalize this as a religion, but some people get it, others do not. So it is none of the business of the speaker, or in a simple sense we can say don't expect results. Just be mindful and let others know. The mindfulness is a kind of a way to bring the mind to the present moment, to you, be with yourself, and there feel the present moment 100%. And in a sense you can say it is a kind of solitude. In a sense you can say it is a kind of contentment. It's a kind of pleasure or peace. You can experience it. So more and more you practice, you feel you become a human, you become deconditioned, de-learning process, and therefore some people put it in this way, you develop a childlike psychology. Now going back to the child psychology, it is not childish, it is childlike. So when you acquire so much of age, knowledge, all the kind of thing, you may find very difficult to just be, very difficult to be a simple mindful person. But easily one can remember our young age, before we come up to the age 6, or even by looking at a young child, you can see how much that child is free of tension, free of frustration. By looking at the child, you yourself can feel the freedom. But the Buddha, being a very deeply studying, he said the child is mindful, but the child do not know that I am mindful, therefore he can't claim he is not getting benefits. But we now, mature people, undergo so much of friction, so much of tension. If we can cut across and go to mindfulness, then the comparative knowledge, the relative knowledge indicate within a day how many thought moments I am mindful and how many thought moments I am not mindful. And if you can develop a lifestyle slowly to increase this quota of mindfulness little by little, so much so, the unmindful part will be reduced. The problem for the beginners is they are much worried about how to get rid of worries, how to get rid of the frustration, how to get the healing, how to get the therapeutic effect for the present state of mindfulness. So Pandita Sayadaw back in Burma, he says, don't worry about that therapy part, don't worry about the healing side. You try to fill more and more thought moments with mindfulness, and proportionate to that amount of mindfulness, the building up of mindfulness, slowly the frustration and the tension and your self-accusation and fault-finding will be reduced. So therefore at the beginning it is painfully so. At the beginning it is painfully so. So therefore very difficult to recommend someone. Not I am talking about the therapeutic mindfulness, not I am talking about the healing kind of mindfulness, I am talking about the preventive kind of mindfulness. So one has to get convinced. This is a slow process, early part, and when you keep on practicing, you have to develop ways and means to increase this present moment mindfulness of being aware here and now. And if you wish, you can see another synonym as diligence, apamada, in the Buddhist canon, the Apamada and Sati, or mindfulness and the diligence, treated in a similar way. So you never believe that doing nothing or just being going to develop diligence. Just being going to develop vigilance. Just being going to develop agility of your mind and the body. That is why you have to listen to the theory, and when and where you are practicing, if you can see this relationship, even though it is painfully slow, slowly one day, you will understand it is a lifelong experiment. More and more you to be mindful, the stream of consciousness, understand without frustration, without attention, and very straight kind of a line. When and where you are not mindful, it is very crooked, it is very tangent, it is turning this and there, here and there. So as far as the line, the stream of consciousness is straight, it is to the infinitum. Whenever it is taken tangent, it occurs, according to the tangent, a center point, and then start working along the center point, and your egotistic idea come into being, your conceit come into being, your desire and your craving nature come into being. With compare to that, the straight line, the mindful moment, when it is going to the infinitum, you can see that there's a kind of a relationship when in a group, if everyone increasing the mindfulness and appreciating the mindfulness, there's a very little friction there can be happen, or interaction can happen, but they can go to the infinitum and leading to harmony, leading to the unity, rather than having personal interest, and there cross currents can happen, interaction can happen, friction can happen, misunderstanding can happen. So therefore you have to, when you are thinking it as a system approach and the reductionist approach, one can verify as and when the time passes, as and when you learn the art of mindfulness, the interaction or reaction reduce little by little. But if you as a team or a group, if you are going to develop mindfulness as a common practice, the harmony and mutual understanding and the communication increasing in such a way, easily you can understand others' feeling and others' likings and disliking, and we can easily share it over the table, and without much of fighting, we can understand. So therefore, while we are practicing mindfulness, of course you can do it yourself, no problem. But if you are doing practicing, if we are discussing each other, there is a huge facilitation. You can facilitate it. So therefore, whenever you are practicing mindful, you have to listen, you have to give some little bit of theory understanding in a harmonious way, and you have to discuss each other so that we can use others' ways and means, and the group has to have a frictionless path. They should have certain amount of ethics, certain amount of moral code, otherwise very difficult to maintain uninterrupted. So the point I am making is, at the beginning, when I introduce mindfulness, whatever the liking and disliking, whatever the personal traits, whatever your way of life, no problem. But if you wish to, once you understood, once you incorporate mindfulness, and if you wish to accelerate, if you wish to maintain the trend, you have to understand, you have to avoid unwanted thing. That is the point where the moral shame and the moral fear, over restraint, come into being. It's a completely free thing. At any time, you can select the least fictional path, doing away extremes. If I am to quote the Buddhist text, the killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and bad words, and intoxication. So, as a beginner, even with that 5 dirty things, you can start. And to tell you, that's the way I started. When I started, I have no precepts. As a robust young man at the university, it was my hobby to break precepts. And I have been in a gang, everyone is doing it, and it's like a sportsman. So while I am practicing, I used to report to Vanaya, I am trying to be mindful, and still I have these bad habits of moral kind of characters, but socially I appear like a very calm person and no friction. So when he is mentioning it all, don't worry. I am not promoting it, breaking the precepts. While even you are breaking precepts, while even you are going against the moral code, be mindful and you can see if you are going along with the moral code, more peace and more contentment. Whenever you are breaking the law and order or the social norms, it's a kind of tension arises like a fish out of water. So if you wish your well-being, if you wish the peace of mind, it's naturally expected or naturally instructed, do away with these extremes, and then you can see kind of an acceleration. And when that happens, the emitting of the good vibration to the society happens. We call it a moral code. So within the society, your disturbances will be reduced and enormous, and it is amazing the amount of disturbance get into your part also reduced. That's what we call the moral code. Now, the present day, mindfulness has become a very mainstream word, and in the West, there are a lot of criticism. At the beginning, they told mindfulness has no side effects, no after effects. It's a panacea, we can go. But when it is going to the large scale, specifically I would say about the therapeutic and healing kind of way, how far one can go, one can develop, one can advance without morality. This is a critical point. No one can say black and white answer. So individually what I felt was, while you try to be mindful, there's a kind of a moral responsibility in order to maintain the stream of consciousness without self-accusation and fault-finding, better to be in the center without going to the extremes, but hardly you can impose upon other one. You can let the other person to experience it. So that's the point I find the teaching of the Buddha and Buddhism as such differs. Any ism is imposing or forcing other people. But when you are practicing mindfulness, you see, right, you can keep on. As a beginner, you can start any place. And when you keep on increasing, there is a moral responsibility of each and everyone, because your mind becomes very, very subtle, very, very sensitive. So you find that you can break it, but to the amount, the violation of the rules, you get frustration, you get the tension. So therefore, whenever you can narrow down your, or cut off your extremes, the mindfulness gather the momentum. According to Buddhism, it is the moral restraint. And once that, not I am telling that you are 100% become a moral person, but I am telling that relatively, when you come to undesirable use to it, that is what you call the civilization. That is what you call the gentlemanship. That's what you become adopting to the situation. You are not violating the social norms. So that itself explains the humanity, the power of humanity. But how much of the percentage of the population is ready to take mindfulness as do it or not, it's a completely different issue. I read one book by Richard Davidson, the American scientist. He says, if you take an average American person, how much frustration, how much tension it is there, and everything is business. When someone is introducing the mindfulness, it is free of charge, and even it is giving so much of benefit, why only such a little fraction only appreciate mindfulness and apply one into the mindfulness and see the results in this life? He says, I can't even design research because it is such an electric thing, such an impromptu thing. Some people take it and they continue. While continue, they slowly they start motor restraint, and then they can go to concentration restraint, and at last they can go to the wisdom restraint. Like it is happening. So therefore, can someone take mindfulness as a panacea for the population, whole world population as such? Or can a group, small group, can start and entertain the peace, entertain the mutual understanding, entertain the communication within, or an individual carry this flag, try to be mindful as such, live in a least frictional way. So these three models you may put as it according to your noble quest. So now we are in an age like this. When and where you try to be mindful here and now, you can verify yourself. When and where the mind come to the here and now, and the diligent and the vigilant and mindful, no frustration, no tension. You can understand whether the other person sitting close to you, if he or she become mindful, that mindfulness as your mindfulness, there is no male-female difference. There is no difference between the age, young age, middle-aged or old age, whether both rich and poor, educated or uneducated. Whenever you're mindful, it's a kind of a link to be humanity. And whenever you're mindful, you feel you are a human. Otherwise, you are in partial way. You are in a dream or in a frustration. So, without any hesitation, you can ask others some endowment. It's a kind of a potential. It's a kind of a possibility of a human mind. When and where you be mindful, the trend of frustration and tension you can cut, and how much you can maintain this already earned mindfulness, not only for 1 split second, to go for few split seconds, or few seconds, or few minutes, so much so it becomes verified. So that is what we do in a retreat. We are not asking all the Buddhists to come, we are not asking only the advanced people to come, we ask human to come and get the basic instructions and learn mindfulness in 3 postures. Something like here we are sitting and waiting, and you can maintain the body without any conscious action, physical, verbal and mental. And be aware, be vigilant, be diligent. To see, without any volitional activity, without the willful thing, conscious, can mind dwell within the body. And there you can see, even though it is proven, no tension, no frustration, our mind is as such. It jumping past, future, other people and other places. Then for the Buddhist theory, it is called monkey mind, or mad monkey mind. Imagine, on top of that, if you are also going to put some volitional activities, on top of that you are going to do some conscious activity, You can't maintain the bookkeeping. You can't even keep the track of it. So therefore in sitting meditation as such, or mindful sitting, you try your best not to do anything as such, just be and be aware. It's very difficult because you have to allocate completely different place, different time, and it's a very luxurious thing. So therefore, people with multitasking, they always make excuse telling that how can we have that kind of a time, because so much of work we have to do. But only this time is the only time you have loving kindness to yourself, compassionate to yourself. And you think about your well-being. But you have so conditioned, even if it is given, the mind, in one sense, not living in the present moment. And our rational mind makes so much of complaints telling we don't have a place, we don't have a time. So therefore you can give an alternative. While you are walking, with a little bit of activity, of course it's a conscious work, how much you can be mindful. So there is the Buddhist jargon we call mindful walking. Or when you are pacing up and down, or when you are walking somewhere, how much you know that you are not sitting, you are walking. You are not standing, you are not lying down, you are walking. And further when you go there while brushing your teeth and bathing and eating and kind of thing, so you can put into practice in number of ways. But for a beginner, we usually promote this sitting meditation and walking meditation. So I would like to suggest, what about taking about 5 to 10 minutes and try to focus our attention to the present moment and the present posture. Shall we do it on an experimental basis? Is it okay? Yeah. So make yourself very comfortable until maybe the way you are sitting. Maybe a straight back chair or a cushion. Whatever it may be, you have to understand you are sitting. So as a facility for facilitating, make sure you are sitting in a symmetrical way, your left side and right side is balanced. And make sure your limbs and the muscles behind your neck and the backbone, they are relaxed. Don't make it tense. And to entertain it, or to get the benefit, mildly close your eyes and scan through your body to see it is symmetrical, it is relaxed. And this relaxed nature, I am sitting, I am not walking, I am not standing still, I am not lying down, I am sitting. And try to do away any kind of willful action, any kind of volitional activity, any kind of conscious thinking. But then daydreaming, fantasizing can happen, no problem. It is not something that you do. And there may be some bodily activity also, but let it happen in an involuntary basis, but don't do any voluntary muscles, and try to experience when I am doing nothing, just being. What's the experience of just being? What's the experience of here, now, I am sitting. So I am going to stop my voice for a few minutes to have this group experience, individual experience or group experience, to be aware about this sitting, and we will discuss it and try to share each other how much we can be mindful and how much when such an experience come into being, we feel humanity among the at least we group here, and how can we spread it, we are appreciating, how can we spread it into the rest of the world. So with that kind of a benevolent idea behind you, now we are going to experience the sitting posture. Facts and points that I presented, and with your experience of few minutes, just being, how much we can compare to the topic of mindfulness and to the power of mindfulness, power of humanity. So I would like to open an open discussion or question and answer session.
You mentioned that there's friction in society and there are fights, and being mindful, does it lead to letting go and sort of develop the relationships we have with other people?
First you develop the relationship with yourself. You will slowly try to understand who am I. When you do nothing, when you have no any volition, when you have no any conscious activity, and let loose everything and try to utterly be here, aware and vigilant, what did you feel? What is your experience?
It's relaxed.
Yeah. So that is the first time you be self-aware. Otherwise you are aiming at past, future, other people, other places, other direction. So this is the first time you meet yourself. It's called that learning who am I. And without that we can't understand, we can share with other human beings. So first you have to clear the ground and the benchmark at your reference point. So when and where it is happening, one day deductive knowledge, so in rational knowledge you can understand the person sitting behind you, beside you, whenever he or she become mindful, it's the same relaxation with the other person. Or do you feel that your relaxation is a male or female? You feel that relaxation is young, old, middle-aged, that relaxation is rich or poor? So this is the way you just come into the neutral position, and you can invite any other person, just do nothing and be aware and express yourself. So when we are doing nowadays with the young children in the mindful school, you won't believe everyone is using this term relaxation. One of the junior school headmaster, he taught mindfulness to the at the grade 5, at his age, is 11 or 10. And he used the same technique to a young child of age 5. Asked him to sit comfortably and be aware that I am sitting, not walking, not sleeping, not stand still. And after a few minutes, that even a child at the age of 5, he says, I am relaxed. Then the headmaster is asking me, but that child is naturally relaxed. What is gained by the mindfulness? Even the young child, when they become mindful, they are using the same term. So this is a free gift. You can give it to anyone. If you appreciate it, maximize it, do it again and again. And when it is happening, it's a good vibration. You're going to share. And it's a let loosing of what? Let loosing of your willful action. Let loosing of your volition. Let loosing of your conscious action. And just give a chance for mind just to relax. Just give a chance for your body just to relax. And you can ask any person, just sit down comfortably and come to this mindful state or mindful thought moment, and experience is the same. That I use as a human. Any person come to here and now, they feel it. That's why I used to say when we are doing as a group, it's very vibrant. But even as a single person, you can do it. Some people call, as you mentioned, that it is let go. But specifically, I would say, on experimental basis, let go your volition, let go your will, let go your conscious activity, and just mind to be with body that will just be. Shall we go for sit long time or discuss today?
When you're sitting in the body, when the mind sort of relaxing, and when thoughts come up, then you slowly have to come back to the body. But sometimes it becomes a bit annoying. It becomes a bit restless, relaxing sense. God, how do you?
Annoying when the mind go out, when you come back to the body.
You have to keep doing that also sort of.
I will ask a cross question. So when the mind going off, daydreaming, fantasizing and going out, we call wandering mind. So now you bring back attention to your body. How do you know that mind came back to the body?
More relaxed.
So it may be a dream, it may be just a thought, it's another thought. How can you verify the mind, wandering mind now came back home? So therefore that is the next step. The wandering mind is the monkey mind, that is the way. Now only we know. Never mind. Now it has given a reference point. Now it has given a benchmark. Now it's given a pivotal one. So with your effort, consciously or naturally, mind can come back. So the way you verify is the thing we can communicate to each other and see whether you are dreaming or yet is there the thought or really you came back to the body. Anyone who can give experience, verifiable experience of that sitting here and now, after wandering mind or just as the starting point, verification that I am hearing now, I am here sitting here, I am here and now. So that is the specific thing in the teaching of the Buddha. Whatever happens, if it is not verifiable, you throw away. Whatever he is teaching, whenever it is applied to yourself, verifiability is there. So that is the only thing we can communicate. Other may be our fantasies, our thinking, or our daydreaming. So this verifiability, we have to, through that only we can understand, have I really got the meaning of mindfulness? How do you know I am mindful? So I will, to lead you further, I will ask another question. So what is the difference between walking experience and sitting experience?
So when you're walking, you have to feel, pressure on the soul.
This is the way you come to the truth. That's the way you come to the verifiability. When you are sitting, you feel your pressure points. And it is happening, the lower part of your body touch the cushion. It's one thing. Sometimes, when the mind comes back home, you may feel the breathing up and down. It's also a dynamic process. And you may feel the contraction and expansion of your body with the breath, touching of your clothes. So likewise, these things are the pragmatic points to indicate I am sitting. So the next time when you take a time to be mindful, you take one of these things as your pivotal point. You try to be with your breath or be with your expansion, contraction, and then whenever thought happens, you have to see what is the difference between this here and now experience and thought. What's the difference between this here and now experience and the sound? What's the difference between the here and now experience and the pain? And of course, with the pain and thought and distraction only, you can again and again verify your mindfulness. So therefore, it is something to be worried, yes, but there's a reason to be glad also. What is the reason to be glad?
I know the difference.
So the comparative.
Yeah.
So each time when you come back, there's a reason to be glad. Have we ever any person appreciated? No one, I know 40 years now. Not a single person be happy that going out mind can come back, either with your conscious or without involuntary. No one, our mind is always going. It knows charge it. So here you can say equally you can be happy. And the mind doesn't kites. And whenever it is coming to the body, next time also it is going. And still it can come. So this is the positive side. It's only your perspective. It is nothing materialistic gain. This kind of see the line in your dark cloud. And when that come into me, it become a hobby. My complaints will be reduced. I will see positive. And if you can share it with other person and the person get the touch, you feel such a relationship with the connection. And I found the best source is children. And there is one book called Pollyanna. It's a novel written in America in 1918 or 1919 by Eleanor Porter. She is teaching through Pollyanna. Pollyanna is the main character. Pollyanna is teaching you how to find a reason to be glad under any circumstance. For a nasty mind, our complaining mind, will get a kick and you find an alternative under any circumstances, you can find a reason. So we had a 3-day mindful camp. We finished at about 2:15 today, and from 9 to 15 years old, 52 children. And when they are asking to do walking meditation and sitting meditation, you can imagine what the kind of experiment. And one girl sitting just in front of me, she's 9 years old. She says, when I'm sitting, pain happens. Knee pain. And yet another boy telling, I have wonderful thoughts. Yet another person is telling, I feel sleepy. So I asked that girl, are you sure you are not sleeping? Are you sure you are not distracted by sounds or thoughts, only pain? Yes. So understanding I am a kind of a person, always get irritated with the pain is a good thing or bad thing. At the beginning she told it's bad. Then I told this is the only time you know what type of person you are. It's a diagnostic. That is good. That is good. Then I told next time go prepare. Verify whether I am always get irritated by only pain or thoughts or sounds or any kind of thing. You may find you have kind of traits. It indicates some weaknesses in our mind. We are sitting together. One complains sound, one complains thought, one complains sleepiness, one complains. This is why. So this is humanity. And when we are discussing each other, each one can contribute. But of course we have to trust each other. And that is the point where we become family members. No age difference, no any basic qualifications, only the communication. So let the mind to go thinking, yes?
At all times, or does it come and go? This is yourself.
Yeah, is it that theoretically we expect to be mindful 100%.
100%.
That is our aim.
Yeah.
Never. It never happens. No absolute thing on this earth. Only relative. Or feel relative. So be contented with that. Day by day you become little by little mindful. Of course, along the way you become utterly unmindful and you feel self-accusing. But it is not a permanent damage. Again, slowly it is happening. So our mind is such a thing, it is asking theoretical maximum or the perfection. And that is to self-accuse. After giving such a beautiful thing, why can't you be 100% mindful? Never. So day by so you have to appreciate the little bit of acceleration, little bit of gaining of the mind. So that is what you call the positive thinking, the appreciation. And we are so lucky people. We are advancing, but we do not know how to appreciate. So the World Health Organization, Food Organization, they say is the amount of food we are preparing on the earth quite enough for each and every person to have a decent meal. What happened? 40% go body care. Other majority go and throw just went in the market. And 90% of the people sleep without a dinner. There is no sharing. Economy. Politics. Everything is available. So when the sharing happens, of course, the mindfulness is giving that equality or unity, and slowly you are sharing each other. And this sharing gives so much of contentment and pleasure. So share your knowledge, share mindfulness, and later you can share all the other materialistic things also. But see from today to tomorrow how much more thought moments I can be mindful. And one Chopra, he's an Indian person, now he's a very rich person in America. He says when you are living 100 years, you get 13 million breaths. when you open imbalance. So if you are living in a very multitasking, hefty life, you will die at your 50s or 60s. But you economize your breath, calm and quiet, then you can live 100 years. But if you are very mindfully concerned about the out-breath, you can live 120 years. We are so unconcerned, we are so unmindful, we don't know how many millions now we have spent. We don't know how many millions left. The breath is the more trivial thing we have. We do not know whether we are breathing or not. Because other matters are so important. But at the death breath, you may ask 5 more breaths or 6 more breaths. But now you don't. So they are all giving these basic things like the breath, or touching point of your posture, or the rising and falling word, this thing. So indeed you come back to the medium or the datum line, and that is the point where the humanity line. So occasionally you come and touch. And then you are so much superfluous. So the commentary says when the mind is unmindful, it is wobbling and superfluous. When the mind is mindful, it's penetrating and coming to this basic level. And there you feel anytime you can come. But unless otherwise you go prepared, unless otherwise you aim yourself naturally, by default, mind never come to the here and now. So therefore we have to give a reminder, we have to get instructions. And not only that, you have to strive and fight. And later on you can understand to the amount of energy you are or effort you have put, slowly, you can gain certain amount of mindfulness.
There's always something to be glad about. How would you be glad about being paralyzed or being living on the streets or something like that?
Did you read Pollyanna?
I got the book recently as well.
That's a parallelism is the main theme in Pollyanna. So Pollyanna has been taught, try to find a reason to be glad, and she was a very poor, desperate girl. Mother died, father died, and living with the auntie, and she considered Pollyanna as a nuisance, unwanted child. Some of the other raised it. And she teaches Pollyanna, gladly the whole village. And one day he hit with a car and break the leg. And she's been sent to a very far away place, and she can hear the whispering, the auntie and the doctor, that cannot be recovered. And then Pollyanna is asking now, what is the reason to be glad now? I am the teacher of the place and the glad gate. But the reason, how can I make this? And then she remembered when her father was a Catholic father, and they are depending on the missionary bag. One day the Pollyanna is asking for a doll or a plaything. The father is so poor, he says, next missionary bag may carry, so we'll pay. But instead of the toys, it came as crutcher. You know the crutcher when you have broken the leg? And then Pollyanna cried. She says, what do you think I can do? I put the doll or plaything instead of the crutcher. Then father says, you must be happy because your leg is not broken. The same thing recurrent when she broken the leg. And then after a few days, slowly, anyway, the leg become cured, and she start gaining and looking at some other breaking. So at the beginning it says, so if you take the boat back, again when you are launching, again you have to do the same. So likewise it's a repetitive application that's only make your experience counting. So you have to associate the people, those who are doing again and again, and ultimately once you learn this, how to launch, how to start, and that will give you a personality, that will give you not to avoid, not to escape, but to face the problem in another way. Face the situation, face the problem. questions about concluding the session? Okay.
So, exactly what do you mean by that? For example, like when we were meditating before, there was certain feelings, certain relaxed state. So you can know that, for example, I am relaxed, you feel relaxed. Do you need to know yourself, how you feel? Is that
I don't think you can understand. When you are mindful without any distraction, you can feel the relaxation and contentment. But usually you won't get that kind of a free ride. Or when you get distraction, that kind of thing. And through that distraction, you can understand your personality traits. So coming back to yourself is put into this way: householder at the center of the house. You are back at home. That means at home feeling. So this is the missing thing in our life. We are never at home. So the day you get a malevolent tumor in your brain and the doctor going to say only 2 months more, then you try to be at home. Then you are going for the wholesome food and yoga and religious life and all the kind of thing. And when you see your child is lost halfway, then you become at home. And this is not without that kind of the drastic thing. Voluntarily you try to be at home. And that never happened by default. So therefore the people, the person have some benevolent idea, have some self-sympathy or compassion. He or she take time to live. Otherwise you are trying to live, planning to live. Or you are living in a dream. So people living in the dream, he is not happy that you are living at home. Understand? This is what you call counseling. This is what you call the free association. The Sigmund Freud in 1917 or so, he started treating the dreams and counseling people. So that means the pathetic person is pathetically psychotic and you are the counselor. So you let the other person to talk. The first day, the things will never come out. You give another appointment, 3-4 days time. When the free association happened, the counseling happened, the person start to talk, the deep things. And then the person listener, the person helping, must listen without disturbing him. And then you can understand what is lying under and what the root cause like. In mindfulness, you are the patient, you are the doctor. And you are listening to yourself. And then not the first day, not the second day. After a number of times you can see trends, you can see patterns. And then you can understand, you can be the patient, you can be the doctor, that is the medicine also, that is the same. Otherwise you have to depend on another one. And if he is going to give a wrong interpretation, still problematic. But here you can re-edit it and do it again and again. So therefore this is a kind of counseling. It's a kind of a free association with you. Otherwise, we are driven, or we have motivation to have some economic, social and this or that achievement. So your mind is fully colored. But here, of course, at the beginning, mind is not so healthy. But after a while, you can be a neutral observer. Becoming a neutral observer is itself is releasing. A very good example citing is, I think Australia also you play cricket. Earlier there was a main umpire and the leg umpire. And the decisions are often challenged. Because the umpire has the human error. Who is the third umpire? Now we have a third umpire. Video camera. Video cameras do not have the human error. So you keep the camera on. If the umpire's decision is challenged, you can see the video clip, action replay, slow motion. No one can challenge. So whenever your mind is mindful, credibility is there. It loses human error. You can understand it. So therefore, your mindfulness is like a CCTV camera. Everything under the surveillance. So occasionally you can put action replay and slow motion. So when it's happening, what was my motivation? If you are not mindful, so bias. So therefore, within yourself, slowly, of course it is not happening overnight. While happening, you can give an impartial judgment, an uninvolved judgment, unassuming judgment, and that is interesting to the human. Otherwise, all the time, you are awfully partial. That's called human error. So mindfulness is the only mental factor, for my understanding, not biased. It's called choiceless awareness. It's called observe the thing without preconceived ideas, without premeditated ideas. So that leads to the impartial judgment or equanimity. So it's an evolution. It's a lifelong evolution.